folks, and welcome to Spotlights, a series that focuses on you, on other players from around the world. We present a showcase of some of your games, and then get to know you a little bit better as a player through some interview questions and answers that are going to be sprinkled throughout the video into sound bites. Our very first episode is going to focus on Brave Cariad, Friends, who was nice enough to let me kind of use her as the very first prototype, as the prototype episode, trying to figure out how things are going to go, what the format's going to be, where the sound bites will go in, how that will interact with the gameplay and the other commentary. So we're still trying to work that out. Appreciate your patience and any feedback you may have on the process, but let's go ahead and jump in. You'll be hearing from her throughout the video, and we'll see exactly how it goes down. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy!
Hello everyone, my game name is Brave Cariad, Friends. In terms of what card I would be, Snowy Sabercat. Snowy Sabercat makes a lovely growl, and that's the sound I make when I get out of bed first thing in the morning.
Bright moons light your path.
And I've not had a cup of tea. Cariad is a Welsh name, an old Welsh name. It's a word that means beloved or sweetheart. I started out in Legends as Cowardly Heroine. Now that was partly self-deprecation, but it was also inspired by the old Scooby-Doo cartoons, and there was a character in there called Shaggy who was an utter coward, and he'd go along with his friends, but he would always be brave because he would actually go into the haunted houses with his friends, and he'd normally end up by being there, being able to help them to come out alive. And I always thought that if I was an adventurer, whether it's in Dungeons and Dragons or if I went into a video game as an adventurer, I would be the utter coward in the group who wouldn't want to go into the spooky place, and basically I would go along and I'd be brave for the sake of my friends. So that I started out as Cowardly Heroine, then I changed to Brave Coward Friends when I joined the Friends group, and then I changed my name to Brave Cariad Friends. It's partly about in memory of somebody, but also I have to be the brave person as well, because quite often that is brutal, isn't it?
Ready to die! I will push them back.
My favourite card would be Vicious Dref, or Druff, however you pronounce it. I love him because I'm a support killer.
This one thanks you.
We are going to be walking with Brave as she goes through the gauntlet this weekend, and we're going to be peppering in some fun facts about her, where her name comes from, her favorite decks, and those kinds of things. This is a spotlight video of sorts where we are going to be highlighting different players at different points, hopefully get 5 to 8 games somewhere in there, and be able to give you a better idea of the players that you may be coming up against. Again, bringing that community a little tighter together. So here we go. Brave is running, I believe this is a Guildsworn Dragons list. But I shouldn't say I believe that. It's very obvious that it's a Guildsworn Dragon list, as we see Guildsworn colors and dragons and Midnight Snack. So we shall see how she does against Nord Guest, who yoinks the guard away, allowing the little kitty to pilfer for 1. Not the most devastating kitty, pilfer kitty. It'd be worse if it was this one will get what is needed. Oh, and Tiny D. Just making the perfect trade in the shadow lane. Like that's the kind of stuff you love to see when it's on your side of the board. It's one of those things where you just kind of rankle at the other side. But speaking of which, you may or may not know, Brave just made Legendary through some ridiculous adversity. Not just where you have those sessions where you're yo-yoing up and down, not just when you have your opponent that has the answer for everything every single game. Actually had the computer glitching her out of victories. She was literally unable to play cards. She was not disconnected. She was there. She couldn't see that I was spectating, so that part of her screen was unable to be, was not active. So she was like, are you spectating? I'm like, yeah, I'm watching. She's like, I can't tell that you are. And she couldn't play it. It looked like she was roping. That's what they looked. There was nothing being highlighted. You couldn't see cards moving. It was just in the middle of the game. Her cards are just hovering on the board, and she can't do anything. The game that I watched, she still won, even though for the first 4 turns she couldn't play anything. She had one Mournhold Trader down, I think, and that was it. and she couldn't even attack with it. And that was like 4 turns in. And she still managed to win in a very protracted battle against a tribunal control, which was fantastic. But that happened to her on a gateway game as well, and sent her yo-yoing once again. I think she got to the gate 3 or 4 different times, and different things happened. But one of them was a complete lockup of the game, and then it happened, I think, 2 or 3 more times, or at least 2 more times, and I believe that, of course, just if you're trying to climb back up and you just lose the game because you can't play. Anyway, let me focus on what we got going on here. I just wanted to put that out there. But she persevered. She was like, I don't know what the heck to do. This game clearly does not want me to win. I was like, I know the feeling, but not like that. So just know that if you see a player do that, if they seem paused on the screen and they're not doing anything in the middle of it, you're like, they're not disconnected. They could be suffering from that glitch. It's something to watch out for. If it's happening to you, don't keep playing. Like test it out in casual or something. You don't want to be losing points on your climb because of some glitchy nonsense. All right, Brave, I would say wisely making trades with that, with the tokens, because as we know, tokens, they thrive on getting big, getting bigger, getting buffed. And so you don't want them to have a board. If you let them have a board, you will probably regret it. So Big Kitty is going to get 1 breakthrough in, which will allow him to pull it down another 3/3. Ooh. That's a card you don't see very often. Nordgest, I know it's been mentioned to me that a lot of times that's because the game is, again, another glitch there where newer players can't get specific names, so they're stuck as these generic things. So that may very well be a new one. You just don't see Orient Sentry. Is that how you say it? I don't even know how to say his name. Yeah, Aurorian Sentry. I need to craft that. I've wanted to have it. I think it would be good in a drain, weaponized drain deck. Every time he takes damage, the opponent's going to heal for that much. And there's another one you don't see very often. It's summon, I guess, it's good against charge. That's pretty much it. And as of right now, I'm not sure if Brave is running speeding. That's Swiftwing Dragon. I'm not sure if she's running that. If she is, obviously he would be of an impact. 5/7 Blood Dragon ignores the guards, but probably is going to trade anyway just to get rid of it since it has a nifty ward and it will survive the exchange. Can attack the sentry next turn. Brave doing fantastic with a nice fistful of cards, literally fistful. Well, now 1 less than fistful. All right, so is she gonna? I don't think she's gonna shoot face with the douche. Yeah. But it's kind of like, what do you do with him? Nice. Okay. So we'll be taking damage from the 5/7, but really doesn't want to do damage to it otherwise. Although we might. She might have to. Okay. Earthbone still wouldn't allow a trade. She might be looking to Mirac it. Like, leave it as it is, take another 5, and then Mirac it next turn. Just deal with this lane, deal with that lane. The douche is gonna get some value there. Yeah, this is definitely looks like somebody who's kind of. Oh, I thought she was gonna take out the support. Okay, gets the rune break out of the way, and is gonna do her in sentry. So once again, showing that I am just about as good at predictions as the weather folks are. Chooses to go a different direction entirely. Nothing with Breakthrough on to really make Unstoppable Rage phenomenal.
Training is over. It's time to act.
Wait! Did you hear that?
But would still make it effective. Boy, a Breakthrough would be great. And I don't know what this deck is running in terms of Breakthrough options.
For the Empire!
Ooh. That wipes out the entire board next turn. Still has to deal with what's there. It is going to take the 5/3, it looks like. Or, the 1/3... Yeah, yoink. It's a wicked and cruel card, but You gotta make use what you got there. Yeah, Brave in a good position, knowing that even if she gives Nordgest a ton of cards, Odahviing is more than likely going to be able to wipe them all out next turn. So, yeah. All right, little misplay there by the opponent. You want to play that guy first, but yeah, it's irrelevant at this point. She's got lethal on the board. Yeah, she doesn't even need Odahviing. She can hit with the Orient Sentry and then rack, or the other way around. Well done, Denise. Well done.
My friend Kate, we do a lot of walking together, and she kept mentioning to me about this game that she was really enjoying playing, and she kept trying to encourage me to play it, and I was like, nah, I'm happy just playing Dungeons and Dragons. And then the first UK COVID lockdown happened, and she said, about that game. And I thought, yeah, okay, I can't go anywhere. Tell me about this game. And I got into TESL, and I loved it.
Jumping into game number 2, which is an attribute mirror match. Hopefully it is a deck mirror match as well, so we will see some Guildsworn dragons or something of that kind in these colors, and certainly not anything else that you might typically see in these colors against Lagnez. Also, for the record, I had been saying her name incorrectly when I said it. So Brave is also Denise, and I'd been saying Denise because in the... Oh, and of course, we get... Somebody is starting to smear poop all over this fantastic board. Why would anybody want poop on the... Hey! Hey, she said it! She said it. It's going to be messy. That's exactly right. Look out. It is going to be messy. Because it's poop. Pooping. Well, more poop smeared all over the board. Oh my gosh. So yeah, but I was told that I got away with the mispronunciation because of my accent, and I was very careful to point out that Americans don't have accents. We don't have accents. There's nobody in the United States that has an accent. Everyone else in the world has an accent of some kind. We are the baseline with no accent whatsoever. And, I love it. So I'm not sure if it's universal in the UK, but at least in this case, it is Denise. So there's the thing. So here it's almost like saying Denephews and Denise. That's the U.S. pronunciation, at least the 9 or 10 different places I've lived. But in the UK, Denise. So it's not terribly different, but it's something to note up. So I'll be kind of going back and forth between Brave and Denise, just based on where my brain is at the moment. But there we go, making the world just a little bit smaller. And that's the card. I don't know how in a 3-attribute deck there's always an invasion party that soon in there, and that might be the game with 3 more cards in it. I mean, right as soon as that raiding party comes down, every single thing. Well, she's got the javelin, and so we're good. She'll need to put that javelin down because everything is going to be coming off of their bonkers at this point. It stinks because that's really the only effective thing. So fortunately, they were only able to get that off on 1 creature. But if you don't have the answer to that in the next turn, I didn't see the javelin, and I'm not used to having a javelin because I don't typically run decks with it, or not all the time. Obviously, I've run this Guildsworn, a similar build. I'm not sure if it's the exact same build. I don't think I've got Ghostly Lookout in Joseph is the one who gave me the Guildsworn Dragon list. So we're seeing a bit more cards in here that aren't there. But it's great to see the Ghostly Lookout, especially when she has cool lines like, this is going to get messy. We can see the opponent's now a little perplexed. Oh, I don't have a gate. What do I do? What do I do if there's no gate on there and I can't just spam cards and have them get all these amazing keywords? I'm not entirely sure what is going on. But looking good for Denise. She's really going to have to bide her time. Oh, I certainly hope we're not going to see some roping here. It's one thing to have a setback with when your invasion party goes awry. It's another thing to... Okay, good. Welcome back to the game. Got to keep playing, keep it going. See, and that one, because she would have that has ridiculous synergy with that gate where she would have gotten 4 keywords, and by getting keywords, she gives the keywords gate. Who thought this was a good idea? Seriously. So the key here, the only thing that's really going to be important is to try to starve invade of its cards, because if you give it 8 cards, especially now we're getting late when they can play multiple cards in a turn, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem. Not enough for Frost Scale, but she can Glacial Dragon. Another one, which will, you know, the healing is not helping at this point. Lagnus needs actual cards, but I don't think Denise would have given it to her anyway. That's a beautiful play, beautiful synergy there. Just locking everything down, and so. Yeah, and I completely missed Wildfire. I had actually forgotten about that synergy. Briefly, embarrassing as that is, even though I run a ton. Okay. Some draw power there. Fantastic. That's also going to capitalize off of the 4/4. Can't kill the 4/6 because I think it does 4 damage and then 1 to everything else, so it will shackle everything down. So it doesn't need to target that. You can kill that. Maybe the 5. Okay. Got it. That is the glorious synergy of this deck of the dragons. Especially in 3 attributes, it's kind of hard to get. Well, I mean, if you want to do that, you have to have all 3. Well, no, I guess you could do it just in blue, and you could do it in Battle Mage colors. But it's the beautiful synergy of dragons in this. Which I mentioned it before. It's so bizarre. When dragons first hit, Guildsworn dragons were kind of like, eh, because you had Disappointment Dragon, the 4/4 Prophecy. People weren't big on that one. Oh, premium. That shit. I mean, that's putting glitter on a pile of poop. That's what that is.
I am the emptiness of the center of your hope.
I think we're going to see a concede from Lagnus here. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. She just has this thing locked down. Goodbye, gate. Yep, this is exactly where you want to see things. I mean, you notice she's been building up this huge board, so she will be able to trade as she sees fit. And let's see, 11, 17, 21, 27. So if she can get him down to, oh dear, that's a. I mean, as far as flat now, Channel Storm. If she goes face, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would make Channeled Storm 7, I believe. Still wouldn't be enough. Oh, that plus douche and the dragon. That'll take care of it. And she might be seeing that. Oh, Prophecy is a bit of a hiccup if it takes out the 3/2. Or, yeah, no, that could just be bad all around. Because if her goal is to take out that 15/15, she needs both of those in play. Okay, all right. So she can still do that. Channel Storm. And the douche will come down to ping. Boink! Nicely done. Nicely done. Not just because that's what I was seeing too. That's exciting though. For the amount of times, and if you've watched for any length of time, you know, I often have a very definitive approach to how a turn would go. I think this is the way it would go, and it goes a completely different direction. Usually turns out better than it would have if I was playing it anyway. But it's nice to see a little bit more of a not a combo play, but just a little bit more steps involved, and you still see it pan out. And let's see, the 1/1 is too dinky. It's not going to take out diddly squat. The 5/2, she has to decide. The Lagnus has to decide whether they want to try to take out the 4/5 dragon on the 6/2. It's got to be the 6/2, I imagine, unless they have a way to ping. The 6/2 needs to be the one that goes, but then that leaves 2 down. There is no way right now for Denise to reshackle things. There's no tiny dragon or anything. I don't think she'll need it. Her opponent's going to heal up to 17, leaving Denise with, let's just say, 8, 12, 15. So she doesn't have lethal this turn, the next turn. Okay, so in theory, Lagnus has a way to ping the 6/2 for 1.
I am the emptiness in the center of your hope. You will be
No. Okay. Because, yeah. So, fortunately, Blade's Lookout is going to allow the Undying Dragon to draw a card. Might be something that changes things. Not really. Interesting to see if she pushes here. I think you do. Maybe not the last rune, but I think you definitely put. Does she have enough to wait? 10, 14, 17. She has exact lethal. So we might see a push here. She might decide to play it safe. But with that drain on the 4/5, yeah. Here we go. Alrighty. Takes down Invade. Huzzah, huzzah, Denise.
I started in April 2020, and I just played with this friend and another friend from my D&D group. I was too nervous to play in, even casual to begin with. Try and do a little bit of casual, 2 games, did quite well there. And then that built my confidence, and I went from there to May 2020. I started playing ranked, and I made Legend for the first time. It was in August 2020.
I think we might see Ghosty Lookout. Notice she didn't say this is going to get messy. She just said your blood will spill. So she knows that the board is currently not populated by Invade. Boom. Oh, we got Gobos. Oh, that's great alt card art. Hate to see it go there. That's the unfortunate thing. I mean, the draw is such an important thing in this game. I didn't know that when I first started playing. I didn't realize how crucial it was. Somehow. Fortunately, that ward could be good, but knowing Gabo's affinity for curses and things, it usually renders warded creatures moot. Okay, chooses out to take it. Chooses to take out the tiny Dargan. Little tiny D. Okay, so ooh. Does she gets the ward afterward, right? Yeah, so she wanted to hit with it first and then drop the dragon. But I mean that happens. It's an order thing. Ooh. Alright, and I mean she's effectively going to pretty much get the trade that she would have wanted anyway. So it worked out well in the end. And maybe that was strategy. Maybe that was actually intentional, not a not what I thought it was a misplay. Sometimes it's hard to know. Y'all have such good strategies and have played this. A lot of you have played this longer, or particularly these decks longer than I have. And so there's a very good chance that when I see something, and I've done that before. I've come back and watched games, or I've watched edits when I've watched other people's games. And I'll say, oh, interesting they did it this way. And I'm like, no, actually, that makes a lot of sense. I just was not getting it. Is she going to use it on the channel? She is. Okay. All right. So with Frostgale in hand, 2 of them actually, she's going to be able to address virtually anything that comes down on the board. Perfect target. Looks like it's going to get a poor blood dragon is. Oh no. Okay. All right. So actually, Frostgale. This is going to be an amazing Frostgale play. Wildfire would have been okay as a one-off, but yeah, no, Frostgale is the way to go. Keep pushing the damage. So with another Frostgale, Wildfire. I don't think Wildfire is going to be it unless Jebu 123 throws down a lot of 1/1s. Nope.
Pretty flowers.
It's going to be able to hit for 8. Probably Frostgale to 3/3. Since there is no shackle effect in play, just doesn't want those curses to start stacking up. Jebu might have some native or organic curses in hand, but it's kind of open season for Cicero. Although Jebu has to, obviously in normal circumstances, you'd want to keep him alive as a threat, just take out the 0/1, but he needs to. And are we going to see a finish off for Leaf Lurker here? Yeah. Okay. All right, so unfortunately, a significant whittling going on. All right, 11. So Clockwork and Undying could be what we see coming down next turn. Probably in the Shadow Lane. I don't know if a deck like that would run. Okay, nope. Chooses instead to go with the bigger body. I don't know that Tiny D is. No, yeah, Tiny D is not gonna jump into the fray. Really hoping to get the Shackle Dragon. And it's interesting how this is kind of turned around. I mean, these are Gobos. Typically, Gobos are more aggressive. Oh, no! Well, I mean, that's technically still Undying, right? Because it's living as a mummy. So, and does not want to use mute. You kind of wouldn't mind seeing it use it on the Blood Dragon and remove all the curses. But to be fair, this isn't a pure Gobbo deck because you are seeing like the Death Priest and Sheer Point. It's kind of a I don't want to say control Gobbos because it doesn't go that far. But when you run that much removal, and it's not just fill up the board with a bunch of little creatures and then give them a buff. The problem is, that's kind of a problem. Abner could Death Priest. We might see Brave pull that maneuver off. She does like the Death Priest. Or she might finish off. Okay. Goes for a more practical solution versus her just enjoyment of the Death Priest's mechanic there. And fortunately... First Rune Prophecy, that late in the game. Crusader Assault, good draw, good against guards. Not too many guards in those. That's gonna sting. Alright, this has started to go a little cattywampus here. The douche can take out the drain.
We must protect our stronghold.
Alright. So this is okay. And Jebu is running low on... Well, I shouldn't say running low, but doesn't have a plethora of cards. Obviously has a solution for the 2 guards. Making one of... Yeah.
Surrender or die. Try something.
Oh, Razzle Madasm. Madasm.
This
That-
one won't.
Okay, that's not the worst. There are plenty of other cards that would be bad because that cost Blood Dragon. When you're behind, Blood Dragon is a tempo killer. This will help. Yep, that's also not the worst. We can see Crusader's Assault on Tiny D to get rid of Red Brahmin. Oh, Cal. Great pull. A little bit late. Oh, but Belly G. Well, but you don't want to. Neither one of those two. You don't really want to get rid of them. So we might see Reflective and Blood Dragon. That's the things that there's a lot of decks that are the summon. They thrive on the summon effect, and that's the worst if you're running unsummoned cards like Belly G, because it's like there's really nobody that I want to kick out of the game. All right, so I think Jebu is looking for answers because we know Reflective. Oh, another Prophecy. Boy, this deck is amazing when it comes to. Well, I can't say it empirically. I've only seen it once, this one game, but.
Is someone out there?
Blood Dragon ignores that guard, so still lethal. Dragon no longer dodges the guard, but unless they have another guard. Nope, and that'll do it. Well done, Brave, taking it home with more dragons. And
It has been an
hey,
engaging
you don't always see
This one thanks you.
the good game, but good game to both.
I did a lot of gem farming in the early days just to get my collection up. Lots and lots of gem farming. I literally aimed to go up 1 tier a month, and then that way it was easier to make legends.
Continuing to run the gauntlet, we now have a match against what I'm guessing is
Honor and praise to
New Era Empire, as that is kind of the trend these days. And because the gauntlet is essentially an open gauntlet, it's play whatever the heck you want. A lot of people are bringing the decks they think obviously have the best. So yeah, fun fact: Brave has an ability to summon the highest cards in her deck within her opening hand or in the first 2 hands. So as we see here, Odoving likes to show up. She's able to conjure him and make sure that he's in her hand at the very beginning. So only 12 turns away, or I'm sorry, 8 turns away now, if she holds onto the ring, and she'll be able to deploy him. He is nice and shiny, though, I would like to point out. He looks fantastic. He's trying to get some screen time, so we'll give him some screen time. Look at me, my Thorm is awesome, and my card art is great, too, and I'm big and bad and awesome. All right, we gave him his due.
Watch yourself.
This will be the last game we see from Brave in this spotlight, because she's actually going to play some D&D. She does that on the regular. It's a weekly thing, if I am not mistaken. With, I believe, 4? It's a total of 5. A total of 5 folks, I believe, including the DM. She runs a orc-human hybrid named Loki. So that's cool. So we're seeing, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to put out erroneous information, but I believe Denise said that at one point one of the folks playing D&D actually did play Legends, but not so much anymore, but had in the past. I may be mistaken about that, but I thought there was a little bit of a crossover. I was like, you should get everybody doing it. Like play TESL while you're playing D&D. Like how meta would that be? I mean, not lore accurate, but what are you going to do? Still cannot believe I missed the alt card art for the Necromancer. It's a little odd, but I mean, it's almost like anyway, I don't want to mess up the game here. Tiny D leaping into the fray. Oh gosh, yeah, this. Sorry, I've been trying to talk about the, do a little bit of the spotlight elements here. I'll probably be peppering them in. This is my first time doing it, so I'll probably be peppering them in throughout the game. So this is not particularly great because as we are now getting into the later games, and either Mr. Gan 77 or Mergen, I feel like there should be a vowel in there somewhere, but who knows what the etymology is. The douche just shoots the necromancer just right in his side. Yeah, this is definitely New Era. As the strategy is, delay, stall until New Era is in play, which now it's active. So Brave really, and Brave has won against New Era. In fact, she told me not too long ago she was up against a New Era and was able to survive. It was either 1 or 2, but she was running Grummite. The deck that she was running had the Grummite in there. I think it was her Ebon Guard deck, which has proven to be very effective. All right, so it looks like she's going to go for the trade there. So she can't. It is possible to beat New Era. Okay, all right. Actually, chooses not to go for the trade there, which at this point, that's the thing. It's so much card draw. So that Empire can. Yeah, I have a feeling. The turn that Odahviing comes down is a turn we'll also see New Era come down. And that's kind of how... Alright, Rapid Shot's is great, enabling a trade in the... Okay. Okay, Alduin good too. Again, this is so bad, so hard against, like, Odahviing and Alduin. She'll be able to play them both, but I don't think they survive more than a turn. Empire having a ton of removal, but also, like I said, that New Era, so that now those cards will be in their deck, and they can play Metamarco and bring them back, and it's an ugly scenario. Removal wasn't the worst. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so they put a bunch of Oreo cookies in there. That's what got... I want to say Miract, but that's not Miract. It's Galen. Alright, continuing to make the push. Definitely wants to trade with the 6/6. There we go. So we'll be able to wipe out the board with Odahviing. Like I said, more than likely a New Era. Or we could also see Metamarco. Goodness gracious. The guard who's no longer nerfed but got nerfed. Manticora. Okay. Nothing is pedestrian as that. And hey, just as we see all the time, the Galen card comes down. Alright, so Alduin actually may be able to survive with
I smell the
yeah.
stench
I think Alduin's going to be the play here. Only 4 cards, there's a chance it survives. Okay, nope. Choosing to hold on to it. And is going to Ice Storm to clear the board. A much more prudent play. Especially if...
What have we here?
Oh, so much draw.
There is
So
murder
much draw.
in the air.
And so much more draw.
May the fates smile on
Okay,
edges.
that tells me more than likely Mr. Mergen has New Era in hand, is just waiting for Brave to populate the board to get some value out of it. Perhaps not. Still has only those 4 cards. Playing very smart, just 1 card at a time, trying to lure out, because the thing is, if she can get all of these removal things played out, then the time will come that New Era has to be used. Just otherwise, the game is over. So, but this might be the. I understand definitely wanting to hold on to the Alduin, so I wouldn't blame her for not playing it. Gonna put back the
I only
Hive Defender. Really think she's trying to lure out the new era before playing Alduin. Hopefully there's not a Hollow Death Priest. Okay. There you go. Okay, and that might have been what she was waiting for as well. Just very smart. Always holding out against New Era. Yeah. Okay, yep, there you go. She was specifically waiting for Marak. Very well played. Very satisfying to see. Hopefully Alduin is going to stick. Sitting on that removal. I was gonna say Empire can run, like I think Mark runs at least one copy of Divine Fervor, so it's not unheard of to have, or to get some value out of the douche. But right now she's just trying to push the damage. And spreading it, so she is wisely avoiding the devastation of a Dawn's Wrath or an Immolating Blast. Those are the two big removals.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
Chimera, spirit of the sky,
Okay,
guide us.
and there's the Divine Fervor that is occasionally run, so unfortunately the douche isn't going to be able to make use of that. Might see the Javelin come on to the... Yep. Just trying to close this out. Needs 7 more. Midnight Smack. So... doesn't have lethal on board at the moment.
These streets are mine.
There's the Dawn's Wrath. She was playing around. I mean, you can only play around it so much.
Lurk in the shadows.
And the amount of draw this deck has been able to get is ridiculous. This is a tough place with the four drain on the board. It looks like Empire is going to be able to stabilize just by the skin of its teeth. Calgren Teed would be great. That might be it. Yeah, that's wow. I mean, that is the miraculous late game. So while Brave had her late game in hand from turn 2, opponent draws their late game at the very end, and this is pretty typical of my Empire experience as well. Like I said, it is possible to win, but not when the draw is like this. Just
I smell the stench
no.
of the living.
So we may see. I don't know if Brave is averse to concession, but we may see that here. Just going to be able to take out the drain and the 4/1 with this. Oh no! Okay. Interesting. Okay. Decides to go for one of the Guardians. But with Morgan continuing to draw the...
Chimera, spirit of the sky, guide us.
Alright, so they apparently were running all 3 copies of... Hey, the douche comes down. Yeah. Yep. Good call. Good call. Well fought.
I love the sound the skeletons make. All those. I can't do it right. The skeleton sounds are just the best. Oh, I like the Argonians as well when they get hit because they sound so indignant.
So this is an exhibition type game with Brave, just to kind of bookend things a little bit. This is a deck she's working on. It is Ebon Conscription. So it is in its fledgling. It's in its fledgling stages. She's just now beginning to develop it, and so it's maybe a little rough around the edges, but we shall see how it does and how it performs. So I have a little bit of an advantage knowing that this is in fact a conscription deck, so I know that it's going to be building to that. And we are running... I'm not sure about the order of the video just yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the Singleton... Well, this is the Singleton Skelly Halloween-themed deck that you probably will have seen on Monday, and this will probably be coming out shortly after that. All right, the douche doing the douchey things. I think you will be able to get value here. It actually works out perfectly. Nice. Corpse Curse, not what we were hoping to see, but might come in handy a little bit later on. Just going to rapid shots of the Sorcerer.
The forest will not suffer your
Going to nuke the Sorcerer. And I'm guessing finish off the Sorcerer. No, okay. Alright. Okay, so this is going to be good with Skin Pound. I would have been reluctant to play him because I don't. This is as a Singleton. I don't run. I only have.
You're too kind.
And just know here that the taunts, or the taunts, or the emotes are not. There's nothing malicious about them. They're just. You know, this is the benefit. This is, I think, where the emotes really shine. So, I mean, if I play Skin Town, that's really all I can... No, I can do Skin Town and Little Girl, so...
You will feed my clan.
Ideally, I should have hit first before playing any of those, because we might have gotten totally hosed. But... let us see what can happen. So again, the results are going to be a little skewed. She has, I believe, 2 or 3 different versions. Oh no! No, she's going to be able to battle the little girl. Doggone it. Oh well. What are you going to do? And Puppers is going to go away. Yoink. Probably see the curse again. No? Lots of heals. And our big guy goes down. More's the pity.
You will feed my clan.
Let's, I don't want to memory just yet. We'll go ahead and put this big boy down. Yeah! You can't defeat me.
Nicely done.
You're too kind.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, that's so mean!
These things.
Not a leaf flicker, not a leaf flicker!
The forest is
I spoke too soon!
Yeah, I'm all thumbs.
Khajiit is very sorry.
You will feed
You are not
my
Khajiit.
clan.
I know you are not sorry at all. Alright, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So our Doom Crag is gonna allow some favorable trades here.
Try something.
No, razzle dazzle 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 dazzle. Oh, and she hold on to so.
You will feed.
How useful do you think Siege will be?
Behold the power of the night.
Alright, so you will take that out.
Nicely done.
You will take that out. Alright. Our Singleton putting up a good showing. Probably better than it did in the video that you saw on Monday.
Protect our stronghold.
The douche!
The forest is my cloak.
The leaf flicker!
This one was really lucky.
That's not implore! But I do like the irony.
It has been an engaging hunt.
Alright, let's see what Siege of Strasmakai gives us. Alright. Dwarven armaments, sweet. So that's... I was hoping for training grounds, but I'll take it. And we'll go ahead and mummify. Razzle-dazzle-dazzle.
You will feed my clan.
No! Prophecy!
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
Alright.
This battle.
All the trades. She will be able to play Skeletal Dragon. And I will not. Oh no, she can't now. But we also don't have lethal. Yeah. We do have silence in the deck, but I don't think we're probably not gonna be able to pull it here. Hit me in the face! Can I taunt her? Okay, I'm gonna implore again.
I'm feeling lucky.
Alright, well. Ooh. That does not help anything. Wait, he's a skeleton, right? But yeah, she's still bigger.
You will feed my clan.
Another prophecy! Good gravy.
We'll
Good
see how they
gravy.
like someone who fights back.
You again.
It has been an engaging hunt.
You're too kind.
Let's see. I don't know what to, I don't know what to say. If she, let's see. So Skeletal Dragon helps lock down one lane.
Should have been more worried.
And she's going to heal for 2 more with those 2 dying. Well, no. Right now, the 3/5 doesn't die. So we shall see.
Thank you.
Come on, hit me! Hit me! I'm here! Do it! Do it now! Hit me! So, again, reiterating, this, she said this is the beginning deck. She has like 3 different versions of the Ebon. There's a... Oh, no! No!
Nicely done.
Superb work. A fine display.
So, yeah, that was... It's a more control build.
The worst drought I had in TESL was in August 2021. It was 15 days of Snake. 15 days going in and out of Snake. I'd like get out of Snake and then go straight back in it again. So it's like the yo-yo effect, except I popped my head out of Snake and then I'd be smacked back down again. 15 days like that. And during that time, the friends group, all my friends were trying to help me out. They were sending me decks that worked perfectly for them. And I just kept playing these decks, but I kept getting high hand syndrome. And if I wasn't getting high hand syndrome, so I couldn't play for like 4 or 5 rounds, I was getting people who just drew God Draw. And it was just awful. And it was the support of the friends group that kept me going psychologically while I was trying to get out of Snake. And in the end, actually, it was somebody outside the friends group who helped me break the Snake barrier. That was Devis AZZ, phenomenal player, plays move decks, and he gave me a couple of decks. And those decks, they just got me out of Snake, and from then on, I was able to carry on with my own builds. I did get to 1, and I think I was 1 in away from Legend when clock ticked over, so I just missed out on Legend that month. What was the hardest tough patch I've had in TESL? This season, actually. I think it was second to last day of season. And I was 1 game off Legend. Got matched to a friend. Had terrible card draw. Couldn't play properly for like 4 or 5 rounds. Lost that game. And then from then onwards, I was hitting invade, and getting back, and they all had the rings. They were like powered up by round 3, 4. So, and apart from 2 misplays in that string of games, I was right down into Snake. Got up to Gateway game again. I was playing against, I think it was Eni, and then my system froze. It wasn't the internet, because that was perfectly fine. But literally the game server must have dropped out or something, because I couldn't move the cards, and I tried shutting down, coming back, shutting down, coming back, and I'd lost about 4 turns by the time I managed to get back in, and even then it wouldn't let me play a card, so they won by default. So I just exploded, so I looked like a roper, which didn't look good either. And then I think you jumped in at one point, didn't you? I went back again after I shut down the game, came back in, and it seemed to be fine. I tested it out. Went to do ladder to get back within 2 games of Legend, and it did the same thing again. I couldn't move the cards. It looked like a roper. Well, you saw that one. By a miracle, I managed to get the game working again. Because the whole way through, my browser light was steady, my internet was fine on my phone, so I knew it was definitely something in the game that was happening. And I just managed at the end to just eke out a win despite losing about 3 rounds, didn't I? I came back the next day and played 1 game and won and made Legend, but that was just horrible. Really brutal day where I in that Snake a lot. And then just when I was at Gateway, the system, it was like it kind of thought, right, it's not allowed to get there. It just froze and wouldn't let me play a card. So that was definitely the hardest. It felt personal. I know it wasn't. Logically, I know it wasn't, but it felt personal. I mean, at one point, I remember I was down in Snake, and it was like a couple of friends were watching and egging me on. I had Mr. Death, AZZ, I had Bernard Schwab. They were both trying to help encourage me. And it was like I was down, and then I got this awful invade game, and it was just awful because they literally got every single. I think I was given a fairly good count myself, but they got every single thing that they needed. And it was like I was down on the ground. I wasn't just being smacked; it was like I was being kicked as well. It's just horrible, absolutely horrible. I've always loved the music, and it's just very exciting. Even if I'm just playing like a practice game or friendlies, I just love the music. So the music was a big part of it for me. And then the card art. And even though the game is not getting any more expansions, there's so much variety of the cards that you can play. There's lots of fun combinations. I know several players who are really, really creative, and they can always cut something new and fresh that I wouldn't have even thought of. And I like playing around with the different ideas and different themes of the decks as well. But really, it's going to sound a bit corny, but the main thing that's kept me going is my clan that I am part of, the friends group, is that they've chat to a lot of them in game. Some of them I chat to outside the game as well, and I've even met not a clan member but another player in person for a catch up on that. So it's the people really. It's such a, apart from a few small people who will be like git taunters as I call them, most people in Legends are lovely to chat to. It's probably the main thing actually, is the people, which I know is a bit corny. It's the truth.
I am defeated.
This one thanks you.
We are going to see some transmog shenanigans here. Looking forward to it again. Just a fun, a fun combination. We'll see how it goes off. I think they're both running. They're both running transmog, so it is a race to see who can transmog the bestest. So I think it's good to get a smattering of this. You know, we do a lot of the ladder climbs, but I think seeing fun stuff. Brave actually reminded me, Core Data, if you're out there, or Data, Core Data, if you're out there, love you, man. Loved your videos, loved your kind of the energy that you brought to it, and the kind of player that you were. Played a lot of just fun, not frivolous stuff, but just fun memey stuff, as well as competitive things. And so this is kind of. She reminded me that, you know, those are fun for people to watch as well. It doesn't have to just be hard-nosed, you know, laddering all the time. In fact, you know, one note kind of gets old after a while. Not in terms of people playing ladder, but in terms of showing those. So we're seeing some good feisty taunting, some good verbal jousting between the two. Brave perhaps feeling a little confident that she has Transmogrify in her hand, but with face sculpt. I mean, this is just RNG fest. RNG fest, no doubt. With some really nice premium skeevers. I don't even think I have all 3 copies, let alone... it's okay. The glowing red eyes are great. The puddle splashing is not... I mean, but it's a rat. What are you going to do? It is a glorified fictional rat. Not even bigger than a normal rat, really. I mean, they're a decent size, but rats in New York City, they're pretty darn big, too. Fortunately, I have not met one of them. Anyway, back into it. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure what to say or how to dictate this, because it's not... If you've ever played a Transmogrify deck, it's a whole different animal than a normal
May
deck.
the fates smile on Khajiit.
In other words, your strategy is not to say, oh, that is the saddest firestorm ever. Taking out one. But hey, in a Transmogrify, because Transmogrify, it allows you to sacrifice a creature to draw the top card of your deck. So the idea is that... Now, I think Brave is playing... This obviously Transmogrify. So the idea is that you have, like, all your creatures are spawned from actions, and the rest of your deck is just action supports and things, so that when you do play Transmogrify, it brings Alduin or Odahviing or one of the bigger creatures. I mean, we see Ankano here. Sorry, trying to get used to the headset.
You have this one's gratitude.
The verbal jousting continues. This is one of those times where you really wish there was more emote options. Because sometimes you want to do more than implore and taunt. You want
will shred your heart.
This is an entire conversation of emotes.
Thanks you.
But you can tell that there's more they want to say. There's more under the surface.
Is very sorry.
See? Oh, it's a taunt. It was a taunt. So sorry, not sorry. But yeah, you see again here that the key is only have cards. I'm kind of surprised to see Ankano, to be honest. Just because he's not one of the big boys. We're talking, like I said, Alduin, Odahviing. I'm wondering, obviously, Raxon could have the Scallion in there. Scallion. Now, Red Year in conjunction with Ankano, that is... And we might actually see Ankano come down. And if Raxon plays a ton of small creatures, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. A lot of these actions are triggering small, like your, okay, well, it's a moot point now. He eats a soul split. But that's why you're seeing, like, almost no creatures at all. You're just seeing nothing but actions and creatures that come from actions. That's why the rats, the skeevers, are relevant, because they are fodder for Transmogrify. So either Raxon doesn't have Transmogrify in hand, or is just biding his time, because Brave has been trying to put cards on the board, put creatures on the board. All right, so we might see her pick Vanus Courier here, or a Conjuration Tutor.
Never stands alone.
And if he survives, we'll probably see our first Transmogrify. But okay, rapid shot. He's still alive. He is less alive. One could argue he's dead. Oh no, Mundus Stone. In any other game, I would call that a party foul and a despicable act, not befitting one human to another, but this is a game, as we know, that is just hijinks aplenty.
I like walking with friends. That's a big one. I think it's always very relaxing to get out in the open air. And obviously, I live in the UK. There's some beautiful landscapes around here within good driving distance. I also like going down to the sea, which is not that far away from where I live, and that's very relaxing too. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons. Must be heading towards the 10-year mark now, so I play that with a group of friends. And I love reading, mainly swords and sorcery or historical novels. I also do creative writing, so I have got a swords and sorcery novel written that I need to go back and do rewrites on. And probably my main passion is music. Now, I don't play music in terms of I don't play musical instruments, but I do love music, and a day without music is a very dull, drab day in my book. I'm lucky my dad had a phenomenal singing voice. Although my voice is nowhere near as phenomenal as his, I do have a pleasant singing voice. And quite often what I'll do is I'll just put music on headphones, and I can listen to a song as a whole, I can listen to a song, I focus it on just the voice, or I might focus it on an instrument in the background. I like to experiment when I'm listening to music. And I have a very wide range in musical taste as well. There's not much music I don't like, to be honest.
Transmogrify still in hand. Brave has not managed to keep a creature on the board. And Raxon probably does not have... Oh! Shots fired! Shots fired! Take that to your face.
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
Oh no! A raw hand of Dagoth. Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal.
The social side of it is as important as the laddering side of it. What I suggest is friend people, actually start chatting to them, get that support, because it's your friends who get you through the really tough times. It was my friends that got me through 15 days in and out of Snake. And it was my friends that got me through this season when it was so brutal. So yeah, just get chatting to people, really, because it's the people in the game who'll keep you playing.
Oh no! Another card that, were this any other game, I would be throwing stones of shame and revulsion, but I mean, pardoning the high roll there. I mean, because you can get, I think it's just random Daedra, so that's a pretty good pickup. But we can see Transmogrify come out here, finally. Okay.
This one is embarrassed.
Yeah, that was probably a little disappointing for Brave as well.
This one will shred your hide.
Probably the only time you would ever be disappointed seeing a Lava Atronach come down. Let's be honest.
For players generally, for people who like to watch TESL, but maybe because some people do watch it on YouTube and they don't actually play anymore, come back to the game. That would be what my plea. Come back to the game, because there's a lively... It's a niche, but there's a lively community, isn't there, in TESL?
Oh, and Raxon is making a push. Transmogrify. Okay, and there we go. There we are seeing the ideal Transmogrify. Now, Brave does have a raiding party and Transmogrify, so she could, in theory, strike back with an Alduin of her own if she has it in the deck. Alright, so she's going to have to wait a turn.
Time to fight.
To play Transmogrify, but she's going to strike with an Ord Firebrand. That does allow her to fill the board with 5-3. So in theory, Raxon... Oh no! The hits keep coming. The hits keep coming. Red Year could take him out if she doesn't want to risk a Transmogrify.
It has been an engaging hunt.
Because she really doesn't know. It's going to be the creature on the top of a deck, which may not be Alduin. It could be Odoving, which would do nothing. But I think she's going to give it a shot. She is, and... Oh no! Another Lava Atronach! So sad. I mean, it does the job, in theory, if Raxon doesn't have a removal.
I'm going to quote Winston Churchill, actually. If you're going through hell, keep going. And that summed up Laddie this season for me.
Has one removal. And... Reverberating Strike isn't necessarily going to do it. And Drive Mad. And Odoving's going to go in for the kill. Those are the shenanigans you see. Oh, and he's just swapping all kinds of crazy stuff. And there you have a Transmogrify game. And that's going to wrap up our very first episode of Spotlights. I want to thank Brave Cariad, friends again, for being the forerunner here, for allowing me to work the process out through her video and her commentary. It probably has some rough edges that need to be sanded out, but that's part of the fun. You may have noticed that the format was different throughout. In fact, I guarantee you would have noticed it if you were paying attention. And that's because some of the games were ones that I was able to capture, and then some of the ones were games that she had captured on her own and then sent them to me. I will say these files are usually pretty big. It can be very hard to send gigabytes worth of video footage through, so it can get a little dicey. Ideally, for anybody who's interested in being in a Spotlights episode in the future, we would work out a time, about an hour and a half window, where I can spectate some of your games, whether you're laddering, whether you're playing casual, whatever you're doing, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be your choice as to what you want to showcase. And we can cut certain games out if you don't want to see the losses or anything. It's really going to be up to you. It's just a chance to put you out there and for people to get to know you better, as hopefully you've gotten to know Brave a little bit better through this process. So we can work that out. The next episode, I do have somebody lined up for it, and it's all their footage is coming through cell phone. So we'll just see how that footage plays. I think it's a much lower resolution, and so if that's not going to work, then I may have to insist that it be something at least on a computer or a tablet or something in order for it to upscale properly. But we can work through those details later. You let me know if you're interested in it. We'll have to find a window of time and or make sure that we've got good stuff coming in. And ideally, we'd be able to do what Brave and I did. We got on WhatsApp, and we were able to do the voice through that. That's how I got her answers to the interview questions. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's totally fine. You can just write your answers if you want to, and I can read them. Or if you're like, look, I just want people to see my gameplay and with your commentary, and that's fine. And maybe I'll have a guest commentator if I can work that out, and we can have two people commentating on the games. Anyway, we'll work the format out later. I just wanted to put all of that out there, see what the interest was, see what the feedback is, and we'll take it from there. But thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, until I see you again next time, keep playing.